Historically, it's been a niche sport. Now it's become this just massive, booming sport.
Really long on the value of F1. I think it's only just beginning.
This guy's got eyes and ears into kind of everything.
The relentless nature of it is addictive.
It's kind of like you've got 3 U.S. Super Bowls, this one, the one in Vegas, the one in Austin.
Hey, I'm Nick Johnston. I'm the publisher of Axios. We're in Miami this weekend for the big F1 race, partnership with The Race, an event we just had today. I'm here with Dan Primack, our business editor here at Axios. We had a great conversation with
Brendan Snow.
Brendan Snow of Redbird Capital. Why a conversation with this guy here now?
This guy used to be the chief commercial officer of Formula One. Now he works at Redbird, which has a piece of the Alpine team.
We're an investor in Alpine, and I think really long on the value of F1. I think it's only just beginning.
They are a big sports investor. They own AC Milan in Europe. They own a little piece of the Boston Red Sox, but they also own a piece of an F1 team.
This guy's got eyes and ears into kind of everything. So, what jumped out on the conversation with him?
I mean, 2 things. One, just the extraordinary explosion of this sport, of the F1 sport and the valuations.
If you're an investor, and we're a fund, and you're looking to sort of invest in something that you have real confidence with, fixed revenue lines, particularly like media rights that might be fixed for long periods of time, then sports is a great place to be. Prices have become so high, you're sort of sitting in worlds of like, well, is it sovereign wealth? Is it really, really rich people? And then is it people like PE who have the ability to bring that kind of capital to work?
Even though they own a piece of one team, and there's rumors it might be for sale, which he wouldn't quite confirm or deny.
I saw that.
There are reports out there that Otro/your consortium is looking to sell that stake, like 24% stake. Reports accurate?
Look, that stuff is being reported. I can't really speak
Is
to
it being reported by smart reporters who are well-sourced?
Well, any reporter you talk to says they're smart, so
They kind of want to buy into another one, I think. I get that sense, or at least if the opportunity presents itself.
And you mentioned this on stage, is that unlike the other professional sports leagues, single investors can own multiple pieces of multiple...
Or can own multiple teams. You can have ownership of or be an owner of multiple teams in F1, unlike some other sports. Are you guys looking to invest in another team?
we're always looking at things, and for sure.
Yeah, but I'm always, when I pass a store, I'm always looking at the stuff. But sometimes I really want to go in and buy the stuff.
Let's say that if there was an opportunity for us to continue to be deeply invested in a Formula One team, we would absolutely want to take a hard look at that.
In the NBA, if you want to buy an NBA team, Nick, if you can afford that and someone wants to sell it to you, the other owners have to approve you. It's not true in F1. You can sell it kind of to everybody because it's different. It's owned by a corporation and they don't really have control over the teams.
Does that make it, is that kind of the reason why there's such an explosion of investor interest in this? It is probably the freest market for a league that's booming.
It's a very free market. And look, the F1 has gotten a great kind of deal of luck, right? They had this show, the Drive to Survive show, and they started filming it about a year before COVID. And then it came out, I think it came out 2 months before we all ended up in our houses. That was huge. They had this movie that came out that they thought would do well, but not nearly as well as F1 did. So it's kind of been a little bit of coincidence.
No, but I
loved
the answer to that question.
How much of what F1 has done to become what it is today was really smart commercial marketing, and how much of it was luck?
Trying to get me fired over here? What's going on?
It's an ex-job. You can't be fired from a former job.
Obviously, timing is everything in many parts of all of our lives, right? The reality of it is that you can only take advantage of time when you're doing the right things to be ready.
Timing is a little bit of everything, but you have to execute when the moment comes, and it feels like they're executing on all these levels. What are we doing in Miami right now?
And if you walk around, we're in the design district of Miami, you walk around, you've got these huge banners everywhere, you've got these huge events everywhere, and it's going on all over the city, and a ton of people have come in. Part of that's for sponsorship, et cetera. But it's become this kind of convening events. It's kind of like you've got 3 U.S. Super Bowls, this one, the one in Vegas, the one in Austin.
Let's take a quick step back, though, and kind of frame this into the broader picture, something that he touched on. I think where all the money is going.
At the end of the day, you're still talking about live sports, which is one of the only things remaining in the broadcast world that's appointment viewing that people want to be a part of and see in live. And so that connectivity and then these fan bases that surround it can still bring these large media scale values.
What captures attention now? It's these kind of live events, and maybe F1 is just emblematic of that. And he's emblematic of the massive amounts of money chasing it.
It's still one of the only things you have to watch at a certain time, and you feel you have. It's not like, oh, I saw this movie. You know what? I'll catch it next week. You missed the race. You missed the race, and you know who won. Like, it doesn't work that way. Live sports is really, you could say live news during like a natural disaster or something like that, but live sports is the one real thing, and it's also the thing that brings people physically to it. F1's not a great thing to watch in person, right? It's a race. The car goes by you and now you're done. But it's still, you get everybody kind of wants to come and be part of the madness, part of the event.
Yeah. We wrapped up the conversation today with William Ford III. I think he's the great grandson. It's probably too many greats of the original Henry Ford. Why was that conversation interesting to you?
It was interesting to me. First, I didn't quite realize, I knew Ford had a racing history. Something that Will said was that Henry Ford built a car or had a car in a race 125 years ago.
Yeah. In 1901, Henry Ford built a car called the Sweepstakes, and he went and won a race. He used the money from the race that he won to ultimately start Ford Motor Company. So this year, we're celebrating our 125th year of racing, even though Ford Motor Company is only 123 years old.
But beyond that, it suggested that Ford, which has kind of dipped in and out of motorsports over the years, kind of depending on who the CEO is or who the board is in this for good now. And that's partially because historically it's been a niche sport. Now it's become this just massive booming sport. It's worth them sticking around.
They're seeing the same things we just talked about. The massive attention here, the massive money here, the massive crowds Ford should be a part of.
We were waiting for the right time to come back, and it was really a no-brainer. You look at the growth the sport has had, obviously in North America in particular, the way that Liberty Media and Stefano have really modernized the business and the business model around the sport.
What did we miss?
All right, so James Vowles, who runs Williams Racing, which is one of the big racing companies here, something he talked about. So there's this 5-week, this Miami race. It's been 5 weeks since the last race. Usually they've got races much more regular than that. He talked about how that's kind of given them time to rework the car, et cetera. But the number that was insane, he talked about how they've built 5,000 new parts for the car in the past 5 weeks.
There's probably something akin to 5,000 pieces we've developed, produced, and put on the car in 5 weeks. There's very few businesses in the world that can do that rate of development. And that's what I fell in love with. And that's not the end of the journey. There has to be performance coming to Canada. There is the performance coming to Monaco, performance coming to effectively all the races up until Singapore. The relentless nature of it is addictive.
That's just an extraordinary amount of work. We work at a company. All companies try to build things. Imagine building 5,000 discrete things that all have to integrate in 5 weeks.
You know, Primack, I didn't know you were an F1 fan, and here you are.
They're trying.
Primack, great to see you. Thanks for being here. If you want to watch the full event, go check it out on the Axios Live YouTube channel.